Hello there, beautiful people from Facebook world and everywhere. Welcome to Kiss to Sell, learning to sell on purpose and with confidence. This is week 5 of my live. So for those of you who have been on this journey with me, so great to have you on for week 5. Really getting into actually the things that are going to help you. All the foundations are important, don't get me wrong, week 1 to 4. And if you haven't watched them, please go back and do that. But week 5 is really about taking it out there. So the first 4 weeks are kind of getting all your shit together. And week 5 through to 8 is really about, now, how do I use this information that I have to actually go and connect with people? So that's what we're starting with today, which makes me really excited, because to me, the testament to what I do is seeing people move from being awkward and feeling unsure about what they should say to connect with people about what they do and asking people to buy with them, and moving them to a place where they feel great about talking about their business. They feel calm and confident, and they can describe what they do in a way that makes other people want to know more. And the process, and they're confident in not just that first piece, but then the process that takes them through to this client or potential client of theirs through to buying and working with them. So yay, into the fun stuff. Okay, so I ran a little GIF question yesterday, so thank you for all those lovely people who put out some comments. And my question was, how does the thought of picking up the phone to make a sales call make you feel? And the vast majority, other than strange people like me, everybody else, were a bit nervous. Other than the beautiful Louise, I have to say, snaps to my beautiful Louise, who's done the course with me, and she was on the diving block ready to go, and I know that that's made a massive difference for her personally and obviously in her business as well, so yay for her. So excited. Okay, so how do we move from then that feeling of terror and fear and awkwardness to getting our swimmers on and being on the block and ready to dive in? And that's what we're going to start with today. So the first thing that I'm going to talk to you about, often with all of these things, I kind of focus on 3 areas. The first one is mindset. So how do you think differently about picking up the phone? Secondly is action. So what are you going to do? Because it's awesome to think great things, but if you don't then actually pick up the phone and have the right actions to take, it's kind of a bit wasted. And lastly, results. So let's start with the mindset. So let's go back to, if anyone has listened or read anything that I've done, you'll know that I keep harping on about that sales, great selling, is actually helping people buy. So if we're going to do that, then when we pick up the phone, we don't start talking about ourselves. We don't say, hi, I'm, Fran from Kiss to Sell, and do you want some sales training? No, we start with a question. We start, and if you think about, people think that great selling is also about talking, and it's not. It's about listening. So their opening gambit should be something that prompts someone else to go, oh, tell me about that, or prompts them to share something about themselves. So instead of saying, hi, I am blah, blah from blah, blah, you could say something like, hi, I help women who run their own businesses to learn how to move from being awkward and insecure about sales to being confident and knowing that what they're talking about when talking about their business is on purpose, and it makes them feel proud, and it helps clients buy from them. See, it's completely different, and it's really nothing about me. And when I say that statement in my mind, before I say it as I'm constructing it, I'm thinking, how do I help people? How do I help people? So that mindset piece is critical, because if you're going to think about helping people, then you've got to think about, okay, well, how do I help people, and what outcome do they get? And what question might be a good prompt? So do you have enough clients in your business? How do you feel about picking up the phone when you need to make a sales call? And if I'm in a group of people and I ask that question, I'll see immediately who my target clients are around that group, because most of them will cringe, make a revolting face, walk away and do all of those sort of things. So then I can say, well, what if I could show you a way that would make you feel confident and calm when picking up the phone? And they go, ooh, I want to know more about that. And then it's just a discussion about, well, let me help you know more about that. So so the first thing is mindset, helping people buy and thinking about what problem that you solve, who you're focusing on, and how you can get them to engage in a question, or to open up a little bit about what their experience is with that thing in their business or in their personal life, depending on how you work and what you do. So that's my mindset piece. Okay, so now action. Now we've got to put this into action. So let me give you a little formula. And what I will do is two things. I've got a kind of a shorter one and a longer one. And later on today, I'll pop those up on the Kiss to Sell Facebook page. And you can have a go for yourself. So the short one is I've summarized it already with my example, but I help, and then I add in who I'm helping. So who's my target market? Do I help people who own chimpanzees? Do I help children, adults? And don't just say I help everybody, because that doesn't help your listener identify with that. So I say to people, I help women in business. And do I have male clients? I do. But it still doesn't stop me saying I help women in business, because they are my target. They're the majority of my clients. So don't get all hung up about, well, I get, some older people or some younger people. Who are the mainstay of your business? Who's the main person that when you created the business and when you thought about what you were doing, who was that? Who was that person in your mind? So focus on them. You can give them a name. So I help women in business, or women entrepreneurs, or women solopreneurs. You can kind of get a bit what I call crunchy, a bit detailed about that. To do what? I help them grow their business. I help them get new clients. I help them whatever it is. So you can either say I help them and then do this, or you can say I help them with this problem. So I help women in business who struggle to pick up the phone because they feel they lack confidence. So describe their problem. To do what? To learn how to do that with confidence and ease. And so then all you do, if you're in a live environment, whether that's on the phone or in a networking group or wherever you happen to be, you stop and you look and you listen and you look for the response. Do you know that 87% of communication is body language? Body language. So when I say stop and listen, I don't mean with your ears. I mean, obviously you listen with your ears, but also, more importantly, listen with your eyes and your brain and engage. Look for the signal. Look for the person who goes, ooh. And see, I've done some body language there. My eyebrows raise. So look for that signal and respond accordingly. So if you've said something about a problem, then, and you don't get an immediate response like, oh, that's really interesting, tell me more about that, or whatever, then the next question, because I know sometimes if the silence goes on for too long, it can be a bit awkward. So the next question is, do you have that problem in your business or in your life? Or do you see that problem? Or can you tell me about your experience with that? And so if I'm talking about calling and using the phone, some people might say to me, look, Fran, I've got no problem with that. I actually really love calling clients and potential clients. And I go, that is awesome. Tell me what it is that you love about that. And so I don't just shut it off and go, you're not my target client, and move on. Because others in the group, or me, I can always learn from other people. So I want to have a discussion about that, whether their response is, yes, I love it, or oh my God, I hate it, or everything in between. So I want to engage with people. Which moves me as a beautiful segue, non-scripted, into the last part of what I wanted to talk to you about today, which is the results. So often people say, oh, I didn't get a new client, or no one's paid me money today, or whatever, as a result around selling. And again, for any of you who've listened to any of my rants on this, you'll probably know this, but it's worth reinforcing. So here's the result. If today, from listening to this, you've come up with some ideas about how you're going to reframe what you're talking about when you pick up the phone or talk to someone in a meeting or whatever it happens to be, then that is a result. If I've given you one thing that's going to change how you feel, act, and see sales in your business, then that's a result. If you use one of these scripts and play around with it, then that's a result. If you actually use it and pick up the phone and try it with someone, then that is absolutely a result, irrespective of what their response is. If you engage with someone and have a conversation, that's a result. Wow. If someone says, wow, that's really interesting, I love what you do, that is a result. All of those things are results, and all of those things will help build your belief in you and your ability to talk about what you do. And yes, some of those conversations and reactions and all of those things, some of them may come out to being clients. And if you reinforce the positive, you focus on the results and what you've done and what you've achieved, then you know what? You're more likely to do it. When you're more likely to do it, you'll do more of it. When you do more of it, then you're more likely to actually get the numbers up so that you get those people through so that you will sign up a client. So I'm not saying that that end result in signing up a client isn't important, because it absolutely is. But let's focus on the now. What are you achieving now, and how does that make you feel? And if it makes you feel great, then do more of it. If it makes you still feel a bit awkward, then go back to the drawing board and change what you're saying a little bit. Tinker with it. You're not going to get it perfect, word perfect the first time. It's an evolving art. And the only way to evolve and chip at that carving and get it to be beautiful is to practice that. And the only way to do that is in front of potential clients. So my beautiful people, I encourage you to get out there, start thinking about and doing different ways to talk about what you do. Please share with me any outcomes that you have, obviously any questions, and as I said, I'll pop up some kind of little scripty things on the Facebook page today. And thank you so much for coming along, and I hope you've got something out of it. And my wish for you is that you'll just be a little bit more confident every day and try some new things and be open to that experience. And I know that if you do that, you will succeed. So here's to your sales success. Mwah! See ya.